So, you have a big problem. And it seems Dragon Bells need to solve it, and we need to bring you to the relevant, timely, and reliable financial advice that you can serve your 450 million mass affluent clients who are already digital. The way we are going to do it is creating a company. This is the company we are working for. Its name is Dragonveld, and we want to make sure that your marketing and sales get digital and automated to take off the workload from the shoulder of your frontline staff. It's not fiction what we are talking about. It turned out that actually 8 out of 10 customers you have would buy from a frontline staff, relationship manager, financial advisor, wealth manager, whatever name we use, if he gets relevant news on a constant basis. Because people are online and they accept online trust building.
So in our case, we are moving company shares around the world. So we make them digital and we use the blockchain technology for that. So we call it moving your company on digital rails. You are being given a digital wallet. So you incorporate by just creating an online digital wallet, and your shares, your share certificates, the analog certificates, get represented as packages of data on this blockchain. So we give you a whole dashboard. So you're a shareholder in a company, just like I am, Hand Ventures. We see all my shareholders. They have a public key and a private key, just like you have a Bitcoin wallet. And we can see at any point in time who's an investor in my company. The last one who joined is a certain Elon, who has 0.76% in my company. And then you can use the dashboard to manage everything to do with your company. For instance, you're voting in your boardroom. We are disintermediating away not just the friction in the formation of a company, but we also help you fund your company, because I can now send shares to Chris, for instance, like an email. When he puts some money in my company, he will show up as one of the shareholders with his share wallet that he can in turn use to transfer his shares and manage his shares. And perhaps the most disrupting panel in this story is on governance. Thanks to blockchain, you can now make contracts smart, and there's a huge scope for automating a lot of the routine governance processes that we have in analog companies. So when you incorporate with us, you are effectively working with a layer of an existing real-world company that we dematerialize and put on the blockchain. We're B2B. We get our revenues from corporates already. We have paying clients, corporates who want to be given that dashboard to manage themselves. We have banks with whom we're talking, and interestingly, we are in discussion with some of the exchanges. NASDAQ, for instance, is looking at this technology to create what they call their private market initiative, living on the blockchain.
Credit Saver is a web and mobile application for unbanked consumers in India with poor credit score. So what it does, it helps them analyze and monitor their credit scores and reduce their debt through discounted offers to close bad loans with instant credit score analytics. So normally in India, any bank spends 30 to 70% of the loan amount recovered as commission paid to the collection agencies. And they also carry a lot of operational risk in managing these agency channels. So what we do, we help the banks to connect with the right customer who is interested to close these bad loans and reduce their cost and the operational risk in this process, in the process of bad loan recovery. So how do we make money? If you see, the application is free for the consumers, but we charge a 10% commission on every loan closure transaction from the banks. So with this revenue model, during the past 6 months, we made a very good traction. So if you see, we have more than 7,000 users and we are growing 20% monthly. And we figured out a very smart way to double this growth in the next 6 months. We have almost 1,500 plus bad loan accounts accumulated during the 6 months and more than $3.4 million in pending bad loan collection. And we have done our market validation by collecting $26,000 in the past few months.
Today, you will find out how Kaipot's group saving and lending mobile platform will help unlock the $500 billion that are locked in the underserved markets. There is around $10 billion stored in a group savings and lending product called Chit Fund, traditionally outside the banks. And similar practices are popular all around the world in over 80 countries with an estimated market size of $50 billion US. And researchers say that the informal, unrecorded practice happens over 10 times the formally recorded market. 10 times. This is like $500 billion at least. And this practice of group savings and lending has survived thousands of years. Why? Because it's a great tool to save up in a social context, especially for those people who don't have access to bank accounts. And it reduces the cost of capital significantly down. How do we get KaiPot in Nirmala's hands? Our strategy is to distribute KaiPot over the financial networks of banks and non-banks initially, and then roll it out over the other networks as well, including our own. And this is how KaiPot will help unlock the $500 billion that are locked in the manual group savings and lending industry. 100 days ago, we got off to an amazing start. We were one of the finalists of Startup Bootcamp, which we joined. We built our product, and now we are finalizing 2 distribution pilots over the next 60 days. One with an Indian non-banking financial company, and the second with a leading multi-country African bank that has the potential of our solution being rolled out to 10 African countries. And this will mean that KaiPot will be in the hands of at least 2 million customers in the next 3 years with a projected revenue of $6 million. And this is on the back of just 2 pilots and 2 countries. We expect there will be a lot more.
Today, there is around 500 million NFC-enabled smartphones in the world, and big companies like Apple Pay are pushing NFC penetration forward. At the same time, we're seeing blockchain companies appear everywhere. Crypto exchanges, as well as Ripple gateways, there's roughly around 200 already of them, and forming what I call the Internet of Money. The liquidity on those exchanges is growing exponentially and has doubled just this year, finally allowing many sustainable businesses to operate on many major FX channels in the world. Now is the exact right time to start also a payment platform using blockchain technology. What if we can evolve that and move forward? With OnePay, we have built a payment platform on blockchains that lets you spend FX-free anywhere in the world. For our phase 1, we will reuse the existing terminals that the merchants already have. And that's an important point because it allows us to target the users first before we move on to build the platform in our second phase and onboard the merchants as well. So how do we make money? In our first phase, can you go back, please? In our first phase, I can't find the slide right now. We will still we take part in the interchange fees of the existing networks, which is, depending on the jurisdiction, about 0.5% to 1%. And in our second phase, when we will be a payment platform with the merchants, thank you for the slide. We will charge a flat fee to the merchants. With their expertise, we have put together a rollout plan for the next 18 months, with our next step being a commercial pilot here in Singapore. And from there, we're expanding into the European Union and the United States, with our target being $30 million in volume in the next 18 months and 100,000 users by the end of that as well.